Alright, here's my Honda Accord cold start. Upper 50s, lower 60s, and usually when I start it up on a cold morning, after about 15-20 seconds of letting it warm up, when I shift into reverse, it makes a large clunk. So this is my car before the transmission fluid change. And I'm replacing it with DW1. Honda no longer sells Z1. The DW1 is noted for having better cold startup protection or something like that, something better in cold weather. So it's been about 15-20 seconds. Now I'm going to shift into reverse and you're going to hear the clunk, hopefully. I'm not sure if you saw that or heard that, but it made a large clunk. It might do it again if I shift into reverse. Nope, not anymore. Alright. And as you've heard, if you could hear, it made a little clunk when I first shifted into reverse. It does that every morning, every cold morning after sitting overnight, usually when it's cold. So this is before the fluid change. Once you got your car jacked up and supported on something like jack stands, or the poor man's way of doing it, some bricks and cement, which happened to break when I was jacking up. But I've been pushing it around and it's actually resting on the bricks. These bricks can't slide out. I've been pushing it around everything. The car hasn't moved. And the other side is just supported by jacks. This side, if it ever fails or falls, it's not going to hurt me because there's a solid weight this side. And with, of course, safety glasses. And I'm not going to be completely under the car. That's why this will do for now. It's kind of like the poor man's way of doing it, the redneck way. Once you got that removed, on the V6 versions, the tranny bolt is on the driver's side. This 3/8 bolt right here. Yeah. And what you do is you get your ratchet. I don't think there is a socket that fits this. You have to get your ratchet, your actual 3/8 ratchet, the one that you fit sockets with balls, with the little ball tip on it, and you actually have to stick it in there to get it loosened up. I'm going to do that now. And once you got it in here, once you got it completely in there, what you want to do is kick as hard as you can or somehow break it free, because this bolt, I don't think it's ever been changed. So here we go. Might fast forward it or something, show you it. I'm in my PJs today. Not sure if you can see that either. Okay. Supposedly these are supposed to be tightened down to 36 foot-pounds, I believe. That was way more than 36 foot-pounds. I used this mini hammer, 2.5 pound hammer to do it, to break it free. So after you got it free, you twist it, and there should be a magnet at the end of this little twist. Here, let me zoom in. little magnet, and you have to get a cloth and wipe that off. It's perfectly normal to have metal shavings on it. That's why the magnet was there in the first place. And here we go. Whoa, yeah, that is black. That is not red at all. Here, let me just give you a closer look. It's like used motor oil. Look at that. Wow, that's a lot of metal shavings. It stinks too. It's not supposed to smell like this. It's supposed to drain about 3 quarts, I believe. Wow, that is... I need to take a picture of that. Let me do it right quick. Done. Alright. Dual action camera, huh? Nice, huh? Anyways, once that's done dripping out, I'll go ahead and start filling back up after I place this bolt and clean it up. And here's the old fluid. That is not gleaming red, that is dark brown, and it doesn't smell burnt, but it does not smell healthy at all. And this is what came out of the magnet. The grayish stuff is what came out of the magnet. The light brown stuff is what the color of the transmission fluid is actually. So I don't know if it's ever been changed. It had a fairly big, it had a lot of metal shavings, but a little is okay, but a lot like that, it might be something you might want to look into. So after you get that bolt back on, most people, Honda recommends that you install a new crush bolt with that crush washer with that bolt, but most people reuse them anyways, just like I did. And so once you get that done, you can go ahead and pull out your dipstick. It's right here. There is actually a dedicated ATF bolt somewhere. I found it before, saw it before. Or here it is. You see that? It just makes filling it easier. But you can fill it through the dipstick. I don't have the right socket for that, or I don't have any sockets for that. So I'm gonna put this dipstick aside, put in my homemade funnel. It's just a narrow funnel, but it wasn't narrow enough apparently. And stick it in that hole. Blah 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 blah, that's what she said. Alrighty. Let's see. Sorry I don't have a tripod, mine broke. Well, I'm just gonna guess I'm gonna have to do this off camera because I'm having a really difficult time getting that aluminum foil to work with me. So, and I guess I have to hold it steadily and pour the transmission fluid in, so I'll be back when that's done. Now that I got that done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this dipstick back in after getting transmission fluid everywhere, even on the floor, wasting this $9.75 a quart stuff. I'm gonna put that back in. You see the little puddle I made? That's not coming off anytime soon. Now what I'm gonna do is start up the car, shift it through all the gears, and then I'm gonna check the fluid. On Hondas, you have to check the fluid when the engine is off, warm but hot, but off. I think it's the same for motor oil too on Hondas, most Hondas. So here we go. First time starting up after the transmission fluid change. I'm not going to be moving the wheels. I'm just going to be holding the brake really hard. Here we go. Alright. Shift into neutral with the foot on the brake, obviously. And shift into drive. 3, even though it doesn't do anything, you still have to do this. 2, 1, 2, 3, drive, neutral, reverse, neutral. And you want to cycle through this 3 or 4 times and then check the fluid. So guess I'll be doing this, but fast forwarding it. Alright, once I've got that done, I can go ahead and recheck the fluid. I'm gonna do this kind of off camera. I have to. Now I'm gonna be doing the Honda recommended flush, which is doing this cycle 3 times. Drain, flush, drain, refill, drain, refill, drain, refill. That's Honda's recommended way of doing a whole fluid system change. It doesn't get all of the fluid out, but basically 80–90% of it. It'll be gleaming red by the time you do this. You have to drive a couple 100 miles before you do this though. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the dipstick and show you what it looks like. 1 second. Alright, let's look at the levels. And it is at the exact mark where it's supposed to be. That's good. Let's see the color. It isn't light, it is still a little bit light brown with a hint of red. So that is good. That is a sign of improvement. It is way better than this. Let's compare it. And once again, when you get transmission fluid all over your hands and body, you better wash it off immediately, because transmission fluid does eat through paint. And you see, compare the colors. It is a little bit redder. So I'm going to be cycling this 3 times. I don't know if you can see that. It's not the black stuff, that's the magnet. This is the transmission fluid old, and this is the new. You can see it is a little bit redder. I'm going to be cycling it 3 times. And that is how you change the transmission fluid on a 98 to 2002 Honda Accord automatic. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and like. Alright, here's the morning startup again. This is after the first transmission fluid change. And here we go. I drove it about 13 miles all day yesterday. So, after the transmission change, I'm gonna drive it a few hundred more and then change it once again. Now I'm gonna see if you can listen to the clunk when I shift into reverse. It's a new day, it's been sitting overnight, and the temperature is about the same, upper 50s, lower 60s, and here we go. Oh, it still made a clunk, but it wasn't as loud as before. It didn't shake the camera. It still made a clunk, but it was softer. And I guess that's it for now.